This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Up to Thursday now, 6 o'clock on May the 11th. I'm Ray Collins. Jacqueline's off today. John Scalzi's in place on Weather Center with more details of a sense of deja vu in this weather pattern.
All over again on this little Friday.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely. We have some slight variation today in that I think you'll see the sky have a little bit more of a milky appearance, an indication of slowly increasing moisture. But I'll tell you what, this is a weather pattern that is stuck in place. It is very slow to change, and I think today will be very similar to yesterday with that one exception, and with the exception that the winds again, light and variable, will turn a little bit breezy later in the afternoon. Humidity will be on the low side. Fire danger will be on the high side again today. Let's take a look at radar. Not much happening here across the state. It's going to be that way this afternoon as well. There are those high, thin clouds I mentioned coming in from a system back to the west, which may eventually bring us a slight chance of rain showers, but not today. Today we top out dry with a daytime high of about 88 degrees. Complete forecast in a minute, Ray.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. All clear right now in Manatee County. Little slowdown at the top of your screen there at 41 in the southbound lane, way up by 275. That should clear up shortly, though. Otherwise, in mid-Sarasota County, the only slowdown there is on Bee Ridge Road as you turn off of 41 and head toward Tuttle. And then South County, mostly clear at this hour of the day. Topping our news, few firings have caused a reaction as the president's dismissal of the FBI director. As Reed Binion tells us now, we're hearing now from everyday citizens to the president of Russia.
What we have now is really a looming constitutional crisis.
Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal drawing parallels between President Trump's firing of FBI Director James Comey and the Watergate investigation that drove former President Richard Nixon from office.
It may well produce impeachment proceedings.
Some key Republicans, including House Speaker Paul Ryan and Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, are standing by Trump's decision. But others, like Senator John McCain, are objecting to Comey's firing.
I think he did his job well, and I don't think he deserved to be fired.
Mixed reactions coming not just from lawmakers, but also from everyday Americans, including voters who supported Trump in the election. Some expressing concern over Comey's firing.
That he should have let the investigation go through before he made a decision like this.
Others supporting Trump's move.
I think he should have done it a long time ago.
Reaction also coming from the country at the center of the election meddling investigation that Comey's FBI was pursuing.
President Trump is acting in accordance with his competence and in accordance with his law and constitution.
Russian President Vladimir Putin sounding supportive of Trump and saying Comey's firing will not affect U.S.-Russia relations. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
In a farewell letter to the FBI, Comey said he'll be fine, but he didn't want to spend time thinking about the dismissal. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos received a less than warm response last night, delivering the commencement address at a Florida college. The students at Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona booed, jeered, and at one point stood with their backs turned to her during her speech. One student was taken out of the auditorium. Several students say their reason for protesting her appearance is her now recanted statement that founders of the historically black colleges and universities were real pioneers of school choice. They didn't like that. In her speech, DeVos also mentioned visiting the grave of the school's founder, the daughter of former slaves. That comment drew the biggest reaction from the audience.
Dr. Bethune stood for education for all people. Before giving a message, I think you need to hear the message and hear what HBCU is about and the issues that affect us.
Well, the president of Bethune-Cookman says having DeVos speak was a privilege and will hopefully open new doors for the university. A New York City substitute teacher has been fired after he allegedly ripped a Muslim headpiece off an 8-year-old student's head. The teacher was at the second grade class at the time of the incident. The student says that he asked her to remove her hijab, which is a traditional covering for the head and neck worn by some Muslim women. When the 8-year-old student refused, police say the student pulled it off her head right over her eye.
He said, "Oh, I want to see your hair." I thought he was joking. He yanked it. He pulled it so hard. I was so mad, like, you don't know how was my feeling. I was gonna cry so bad, and I was crying.
She was actually taken to the hospital to be treated for her eye injury. Doctors say it should heal just fine. A dramatic scene in a Cleveland courtroom when the family member of a shooting victim charged at the man who pulled the trigger. Watch this.
To find out who you are and who you is. You can breathe like that.
James Sparks Henderson pleaded guilty to shooting and killing 5 people, including an unborn child. Delray Johnson spoke directly to Sparks Henderson in the courtroom. He says he saw the man smirking, and that's why he lunged. The victim's family says he has no regrets about what happened in that courtroom. Sparks Henderson was sentenced to 5 consecutive life sentences. He only avoided the death penalty by giving a full confession. Police looking for the thieves of a smash and grab at a Texas gun shop. Watch this surveillance video. They say 4 men set off the alarm at the gun store early Wednesday morning. The video shows 2 men rushing into the store and leaving with arms full of weapons. Another man breaks into a display case and takes more merchandise as well. Video of a shark attack that happened off Palm Beach supposedly is apparently a fake after all. A viral video of an adult actress being bit by a shark is not real, say shark experts, and they have proof. A local shark diving operator says the company asked him to do a fake shark bite shoot so that the story could go viral. The adult actress even posted a picture of herself using crutches online, saying stories like this are damaging to sharks, given their already bad reputation. South Florida waterways are about to get a little cleaner now, thanks to legislation signed by Governor Scott. It will allow the state to bond up to $800 million to build a reservoir south of Lake Okeechobee. It would help reduce the reoccurrence of toxic algae outbreaks that have impacted waterways along the St. Lucie River and the Caloosahatchee River. The legislation was a top priority of Senate President Joe Negron during the past legislative session.
Senate Bill 10 has been talked about for 2 decades. Talk, study, talk more, go to conferences, roll out ideas, put things in 20,000, 28, way down the road. And this legislature said, no, we're going to fund and plan for and organize southern storage, 100 to 120 billion gallons of storage south of the lake.
The bill also caps annual state funding at $64 million and places the reservoir on state-owned land in the Everglades agricultural area. After Florida lawmakers ignored their calls to vote down a sprawling education bill, opponents are asking Governor Scott to keep the plan from becoming law. The bill covers everything from charter schools and teacher bonuses to school uniforms and sunscreen. But just hours after lawmakers passed the measure, opponents began to urge Governor Scott to veto it.
We heard over and over on the floor, it's a terrible bill, but we'll fix it when we come back next session. Florida students can't afford to wait until next session. It needs to be fixed now, and the way to do that is with the governor's veto.
The most notable parts of the legislation are a proposal known as Schools of Hope, which would encourage charter schools to locate near academically struggling public schools. All right, 6:08 right now on the brink of Friday, huh?
Judge us about.
One day,
almost there.
As they said in Les Mis, one day more.
One day more, and we'll be there. And it looks like a pretty nice weekend, too. I know Mother's Day coming up, you know. We got to celebrate that, and it looks like the weather should cooperate just beautifully.
Good timing for that.
I think so. Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second.
All right, still ahead. A possible new life for red light cameras in one area city. The story on the way.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Introducing the all-new Alfa Romeo Giulia, a performance masterpiece. Race-inspired handling and lightning-fast response times take your drive to the next level. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
The official salon of ABC 7. Reporting Lou Salon.
Whether a family member needs a little extra help around the house, assistance recovering from a hospital stay, or someone to check in on them throughout the week, Right at Home's in-home care is the answer. Your loved one deserves the right care, and now we need caregivers to help give the right care for the right reasons, the right way. At Right at Home, we're one of the only private home health agencies in this area with the opportunity to earn paid time off. If you're someone who loves helping people, take a look at our website and click on Jobs to join our team today.
There's a whole new way to bank at Achieva Credit Union with Achieva Checking Plus. Get new unique features like full ID theft protection and online shopping rewards. Plus, it's an interest-bearing account, so you have a little extra for what really matters. Achieva Checking Plus isn't just an account for your money, it's for your life, including cell phone insurance. And that's good to know. Discover the plus at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Julia from Alfa Romeo. Appearance. Performance. Power. Find yours at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So, looking at temperatures across the region, we're generally about where we were yesterday. 68-degree the air temperature. Dew points about where they were yesterday, coming in at 63. As the temperatures rise and the dew points, which generally will remain flat throughout the day, continue on. The spread between the two, between the temperature and the dew point, will become greater, and our relative humidity will fall this afternoon. Right now, it's at 84%. Feels a little sticky out there. But by afternoon, when the temperatures climb into the 80s, we'll probably see those dew points fall down into the 40s and maybe even some 30s. And red flag warnings, especially inland away from the coast, are flying again today. We have 68 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, my parish, Bradenton, 69 degrees at Lakewood Ranch. Closer to the coast, 72, Longboat Key, 70 in Venice, and 71 in Inglewood. Not much happening on radar across the entire state. Dry as a bone here aloft. So again today, don't expect anything in the way of rain showers. We have a frontal boundary back to the west that's kind of gathering steam. This frontal boundary will eventually advance in this direction. But even so, with high pressure sitting over us, there'll be very little time to moisten the atmosphere before this front arrives. So it will not have much moisture to tap into once it gets here Saturday. And consequently, the rain chances are going to be low. Traveling today, Atlanta Airport, Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, hubs all look good. It's really along this frontal boundary that kind of meanders across the center part of the country where the problems are going to be today. A series of low pressure areas will cause an enhanced chance for severe weather, or I should say a slight chance for severe weather today, stretching from Texas on up through Oklahoma and back toward the Delmarva. There could be some airport delays at any of the airports, particularly in that yellow zone today. But, of course, the state of Florida won't see a drop of rain. That frontal boundary now back through the parts of Texas will advance in this direction, and the high-pressure ridge over us will gradually give way by moving out into the Atlantic. That'll help bring moisture back, particularly tomorrow and Saturday. For today, sitting over us, there's virtually zero chance of rainfall across the entire state. And we'll have very light and variable winds to start the day, but when the sea breeze begins to build under the heat of the day, we'll see a surge in those afternoon winds, giving us some breezy conditions for a short period of time. Higher humidity tomorrow, and we'll see a little bit of fair weather cloudiness move in today. When you see that cloudiness, that kind of milky appearance to the sky, know that that is the beginning of a change with that frontal boundary approaching us. In fact, that's where the clouds are coming from that front, from the activity of that low pressure area, pushing the clouds back generally in this direction, high, thin clouds. And then on Saturday, the front approaches. I think the panhandle of the state, north of Tampa Bay, has a better chance of seeing some sprinkles, no severe weather forecast. But as that front sinks south and washes away, our chances for rainfall become much less. Forecast looks like this. Daytime highs in the upper 80s, slight chance of a Saturday shower, and then clearing for Mother's Day. Ray?
Thank you, John. Checking Suncoast roads right now. First off, we're going to check this time the South County maps. Nothing to show right now down there. What will we see next? Perhaps Midtown. There we go, Sarasota County. Only red I see is out there on Bee Ridge Road out by Cattleman heading toward the interstate. And then the northernmost maps today will show us a slowdown coming across the western bridge of the two, the Green Bridge from Palmetto into downtown Bradenton. Well, speaking of traffic, red light cameras could make a comeback in Bradenton. Our Rick Adams has the story.
No, I don't like the red light cameras.
Longtime Bradenton resident Amy Davis isn't alone. Many folks we talked with are opposed to the red light cameras. That includes Siboney Alcala. She just moved to Bradenton about a month ago, and she tells us she's happy to hear the red light cameras are no longer in the city.
I think that he shouldn't bring it back just because I am new, so the red light would be a really big issue for me.
Bradenton City Council members are now talking about bringing back the cameras. They disappeared from 7 different intersections in August after their contract with the company supplying the cameras expired. Councilman Bemis Smith, who is in opposition of the cameras, says City Council will be discussing the pros and cons of red light cameras in the months ahead.
There's little effect of saving lives and reducing red light accidents by red light cameras. So from my perspective, it becomes a situation where you just punitively punish somebody for running a red light by, say, a half a second.
In addition to the effectiveness of these cameras, another thing that will be discussed in depth is the revenue the cameras generate, as well as the best spots to put them. Jeannie Trevino is visiting the Bradenton area from Texas. She tells us the cameras aren't such a bad thing.
By bringing the cameras back, that would prompt the people, hopefully, to stop, to slow down, and to follow the traffic rules.
Councilman Smith says the earliest the red light cameras would return to Bradenton would be around late September. For many people who live in Bradenton or just drive through, they're not sold on this idea.
I think they should just try to eliminate the program. I think they could use the money somewhere else where it would be more beneficial.
In Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
City officials say they're still considering their options, but they suggest the red light cameras could be too much of a safety and financial incentive for the city to just stop using. They still have those cameras in Sarasota County, as John and I found out the hard way. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a hiker is found in Montana. We'll tell you about the amazing air rescue coming up.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Drive into Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota and discover big savings during the Drive and Discover event.
Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or stop by today and drive away in a 2017 Jeep Cherokee for just $18,999. And for a limited time, get America's best value, a new Dodge Journey for as little as $16,599. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in Sarasota.
Come on in, welcome to our pad. Trust me, folks, you're in for a ride. I'm driving, so relax. Unwind, leave your buckets all behind. Get ready to blow your mind. In Beatsville, don't be shy. Come and make the scene. Catch the crazy party inside. The hipsters here are gone. And dig, man, they're on to something big. Yeah, they're gonna flip your wig in Beatsville. Catch the gig in Beatsville.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Oh, another pretty shot there. Looks like a full moon, or else a photo flare there. We'll go with the moon. That is over Sarasota Bay, looking toward Longboat Key, looking to the southwest. Beautiful shot there from our tower camera. We're going to talk next half hour to the latest commissioner-elect in Sarasota. Hagan Brody will join us in the studio. He was the high vote getter in the election that was held earlier this week. Back to the news now. A hiker is found alive, missing for 6 days in the Montana wilderness. As Mara Chavacampo tells us, it was an amazing survival story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a remarkable air rescue. A hiker in Montana finally found after disappearing for almost a week.
I can't believe that we were able to get out.
23-year-old Madeline Connolly was visiting relatives in Montana when she decided to head out for a hike with her dog Mogi in Great Bear Wilderness near Glacier National Park. But the experienced hiker and nature enthusiast took a wrong turn.
Like the first night, I realized that I was not in the right place.
When Connolly didn't come home after 2 days, officials launched a massive operation. Then Wednesday, the moment they'd all hoped for, Connolly and her dog finally spotted. Rescuers airlifting her out after almost a week in the wild. And we'll have more of her incredible survival story coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Mara Chavacampo, ABC News, New York.
In Cortisone 10, you get the power of 10. The power to take on skin itch and irritation and get fast-acting, long-lasting relief. Relief that lasts 10 full hours. Triumph over the itch with the power of 10. Cortisone 10.
What do you got?
Restrained driver in a motor vehicle.
Sir, you hear me? 2, 3. Right, cover bagging. We need a portable X-ray, please. Get him down, sir.
I'm a nurse. I believe in the power of science and medicine. But I'm also human. And I believe in stacking the deck.
To nurses everywhere, thank you from Johnson & Johnson.
Would you believe my boy used to have food sensitivities? But then we fed him Blue Basics, and he's never looked or felt better.
If your dog has food sensitivities, it's time to try limited ingredient Blue Basics.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like cell phone protection for 3 phones, plus an interest-bearing account. And that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
The official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
Everyone loves a bright and cheerful smile. Not everyone can find the dental care they need and can afford. Now there's a place nearby where anyone can receive professional quality dental care at an affordable cost. The LECOM School of Dental Medicine in Lakewood Ranch is now accepting patients. You will receive your care in comfortable, state-of-the-art treatment rooms. To schedule your appointment, please call the LECOM Dental Group practices, 941-405-1600. We will be happy to see you smiling again.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service, quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like full ID theft protection, and that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, a 2-car crash in Sarasota sends a toddler to the hospital. The latest on her condition this morning. A candlelight vigil is scheduled today for the victims who drowned in a jetty accident on Monday. And police investigate after a woman drowns on Siesta Key. We'll tell you what police think led to her death. Those stories and more next on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning. Pretty shot there of Sarasota Bay and the Gulf way off in the distance of the Renaissance and the Alinari there in the foreground. Also the Van Wezel in the lower right corner of your screen. Good morning, 6:29 on this Thursday morning. I'm Ray Collins. Jacqueline is off this morning. Let's get to John Scalzi now for details of the Thursday forecast. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, Ray. Yeah, looking like another day with warm afternoons, low relative humidity, and a high fire danger across the entire west coast of the state of Florida and central Florida as well. No rain in today's forecast. Maybe a little bit of high-level clouds, though, that we haven't seen before streaming in. Radar quiet right now. Not a drop of rain falling. Back to the west, though, in the corner of your screen, you can see a few gathering clouds. That's part of a low pressure area that may eventually bring us a chance of showers. But for today anyway, it'll just bring us some of that high cloudiness that you see there, kind of rotating around the high pressure ridge. For today, daytime highs top out like yesterday in the upper 80s. No rain, but maybe a few more clouds. Complete forecast coming up for you in just a few, Ray.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Traffic right now building up on 301 southbound around State Road 70. Also, we see a problem there at the interstate at State Road 70. No indication yet as to why. Oh, there we go. Stalled vehicle at Florida 70 eastbound at I-75. Farther south now on the maps, we'll see a problem there at 301 southbound out of Newtown. And then farther south, not much to report at 629 on your Thursday morning. Topping our news this half hour, a 2-year-old girl in Sarasota is in the hospital recovering after a 2-car crash last evening. It happened at the intersection of Prairie View Drive and McIntosh Road about 6 p.m. The toddler was flown to All Children's Hospital. No word yet as to what happened or her condition this morning. A traffic alert around Lakewood Ranch. Drivers heading west on University Parkway trying to cross under the interstate will find a new way to get out of the area tomorrow night. Westbound lanes will be closed Friday night into Saturday morning so crews can pave the roadway. Drivers will be rerouted. The southbound off-ramp will also be closed at University Parkway from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. so crews can pave that ramp. Developing overnight, an investigation into how a vacationer drowned off Siesta Key Beach yesterday. Witnesses say the woman was unresponsive, floating face down in the water on the south side of the beach. Lifeguards and emergency crews tried to revive her but were unsuccessful. Investigators say the woman was snorkeling with her husband when something went terribly wrong. They were on vacation here from Pittsburgh. A follow-up now on the father and daughter who died in a car crash off the Venice South Jetty on Monday. A candlelight vigil is set for this evening to honor the victims. Friends and loved ones will gather at the site at the Village on the Isles at 7:30 in honor of Eugene and Carol Hayden, a father and daughter. They died when Carol drove their van into the water Monday afternoon. No reason why yet. A makeshift memorial has been created at the scene of the crash. Friends say the couple, the father and daughter rather, were valued in the community.
What goes through your mind, that car, that van bobbing down, and then it's, oh no, that's not just a car. You know, that's Carol and that's Gene. Gene was very much a guy that was in control, very smart man, very much involved.
The accident remains under investigation this morning as experts continue to try to piece together exactly what went wrong on Monday. An update now on the Andres Avalos trial. Jury selection should last until tomorrow. Today, attorneys from both sides will continue to question about 40 potential jurors. The trial for Avalos is expected to last 3 weeks then. Avalos is accused of killing his wife Amber, her friend Denise Potter, and Pastor Trip Battle back in December of 2014. If convicted, he could face the death penalty. Happening today, the only major Republican so far to announce they are running for governor is going to be on the Suncoast. Agriculture Commissioner Adam Putnam will kick off his 2018 campaign this week. He'll have a rally tonight in Sarasota. It's called the Florida Grown Bus Tour. It goes to 22 cities in 10 days. He'll be at the Southgate Community Center in Sarasota. His tour is scheduled to wrap up next Saturday. So far, 3 Democrats have also announced they are running for governor. That includes former Congressperson Gwen Graham, Orlando area businessman Chris King, and Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum. Also happening today, another die-in protest at a local congressman's offices. Protesters who don't like that Congressman Vern Buchanan voted in favor of the new federal health care reform plan. They're having a second protest to mock the death of the Affordable Care Act, they say, this time wearing funeral outfits with signs of pre-existing conditions. It's scheduled today at the Sarasota office at 4:45 this afternoon. Sarasota County wants to update its trail master plan, and they want your input. They'll conduct an inventory of all the trails that exist in the county, and they'll identify where more trails are needed. Right now, they say there are more than 800 miles of trail in Sarasota County that are good for your recreation. They want feedback today. There are 2 meetings you can take part in. One is at 11 a.m. at the Gulfgate Library, the other at the Jacaranda Library at 4:30 this afternoon. Earlier this week, Sarasota went to the polls and elected 2 new commissioners. The one who received the highest number of votes joins us now, Hagan Brody. Congratulations. How does it feel to hear the name Commissioner-elect Hagan Brody?
Well, thanks for having me, Ray. It feels good. It feels good. You know, it's been a long campaign. Most of us started back in December.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've met a lot of people over the course of the campaign, and it just feels good to have what you've been talking about this whole time validated.
Well, there were a number of candidates. I mean, 8 that first threw their hats in the ring. Many of them had experience for city commissioner Susan Chapman, members of the planning board. But you, with no prior elective experience, received the most votes. What do you think you did or said that resonated with voters?
Well, first of all, I will respectfully disagree on the premise that I have no experience.
Elective experience.
Right, but I was an appointed prosecutor in this community. And so, you know, I worked under the ordinances that the city passes. So I would argue I had extensive experience preparing me for this role. But, you know, I think it boils down to the substance of the conversation. It boils down to what ideas do you have? What energy do you have to bring towards solutions to lingering problems that we've been talking about for years in the city?
What are your biggest goals? Of course, let me just start with this. You drive through downtown Sarasota, you see the homeless at many street corners. Some say if you build a shelter, more will come. How do you stand on the homeless issue, and what will you do to solve this problem?
Well, that's actually what I think is one of my strong suits, and one of the reasons that I think I had such support. You know, as a prosecutor, I dealt with that issue day in and day out in the county courts. And, you know, it's a humanitarian issue, but you have to address the mental health issues and the substance abuse issues that underlie their homelessness before you, build anything. And I will add, you know, we live in a very fortunate community in the fact that we have a lot of services here to address those issues. And that's basically been the platform of my homeless policy from day one. We have organizations that have beds. We don't need more beds in this community. We have the Salvation Army. It has over 270 beds. We have the Harvest House, which has over 300 beds. So it's not a lack of resources. It's just more about getting the resources to work together, teaming up, and cooperating.
You can't build more roads in this very landlocked city here, but the population continues to grow. How can you solve traffic congestion here?
Well, so first of all, there's two issues that really tie in together with traffic. The biggest one is affordable housing. Okay, people, just since I've grown up here, we have become more and more of a commuter city. Less and less people can afford to live where they work, and that's what's creating our massive traffic issues. We have industry after industry that is finding its workers living in Northport, Ellington, the surrounding communities, and driving to work every day. And it doesn't take much more than to go on to Fruitville Road or Bee Ridge or University at rush hour and see that. So, you know, affordable housing, traffic is an affordable housing, workforce housing issue. So I'd like to see more projects where ordinary folks, you know, the police officers, the firefighters, the nurses, the teachers that service this community, that give to this community, can live in this community.
All right. Well, congratulations again. You're sworn in on Friday at noon.
Appreciate it.
You and Jennifer Ahern-Koch, the new commissioners, replacing Suzanne Atwell and Susan Chapman. So we'll be watching closely.
Thank you, Ray. Thanks for having me.
All right. Back to the news now. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is letting the community help decide how it can best serve the Suncoast. The Sheriff's Office command staff and a group of 23 citizens have a 4-year strategic plan. There are 4 goals, that is 4 goals for the County Sheriff's Office, including working with the community to address public safety concerns, promoting transparency and accountability, and also fostering a rich diversity of perspectives. Members of the Citizens Work Group says they brought aspects of 21st century policing to deputies' attention, and in turn the deputies showed them the challenges they face on the job.
A lot's going on in that environment, so fair and impartial policing, implicit bias, things that law enforcement is starting to look at and say, we could do things better. And their willingness and openness to do that was impressive to me.
This plan will be reviewed and updated every year to change as the community changes, whether that be in terms of citizen patterns, expectations, or demographics as well. Members of the Manatee County Sheriff's Office and Bradenton Police Department are hitting the road to honor fallen officers. They are joining hundreds of cyclists to bike 250 miles from Chesapeake, Virginia to Arlington National Cemetery. It's part of an effort to raise money for Law Enforcement United, a group that supports families of fallen officers. Team Manatee has already raised $48,000 so far. The team includes Lieutenant James Rackey, Sergeant John Negron, and Sergeant Anthony Ramdith. And it's the 10th annual National Women Build Week. Habitat for Humanity will be raising the walls on a special project later on this morning. Many notable Manatee County women and Lowe's heroes will be among more than 20 volunteers to join Manatee's Habitat to Build affordable housing. Lowe's helped launch the National Women Build Week back in 2008 to empower women to advocate for affordable housing and to spotlight home ownership challenges faced by many. Work starts at 8 a.m. in Bradenton, and they shouldn't see Any rain. They might see some breezy conditions out there, though.
You know, for a brief period of time, I don't think it'll be any bother to them, though. In fact, it'll probably feel pretty good.
Yeah, the wind.
Yeah, because working out then on those houses during the daytime heat can be a little tough, actually. That's a fun organization, though. They do such good work.
They do.
We have pleasant weather coming up over the weekend as well. We'll talk about that in a sec.
All right, talk to you soon. Also ahead, a sci-fi cult classic is coming back to theaters. We'll tell you where you can catch this special screening coming up.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $249 per month or 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Current temperature outside coming in about where we were yesterday at 68 degrees. We have a dew point of 63. That's really not going to change all that much. Dew points are going to stay fairly flat today, meaning the amount of moisture that's in the air, and it has risen over the last several days, will stay kind of flat. Now, as the temperature begins to rise, the difference between the dew point temperature and the air temperature will increase and our humidity will fall far enough that it will trigger a red flag warning today, meaning high fire danger across the region all along the Suncoast and every county of the Suncoast up and down the west coast of the state of Florida. High fire danger and a fire weather watch will be in effect till 8 o'clock tonight starting at noon. Calm winds currently. They'll surge a little bit in the afternoon as well as we develop that sea breeze. And that sea breeze could be a little bit breezy for a brief period of time. As far as the forecast goes, temperatures inland, where right now we see 60s, upper 60s for the most part, will probably be pretty close to the 90 mark. And along the coastline, cooled by that onshore wind flow, our temperatures currently in the 70s will probably top out at around 88 degrees, similar to where we were yesterday. No rain in the forecast today. Again, we stay absolutely dry. The temperatures aloft, the amount of moisture aloft, none of it's supportive to any kind of rain showers. We may see a little bit of high cloudiness around, but that's about it. The cloudiness will be caused by activity back to the west. A developing frontal boundary moving through parts of Texas could cause some rough weather from Texas down through Houston, up through parts of Oklahoma, and then all the way back toward the mid-Atlantic coastline. It's all part of this area of low pressure that's spinning around back to the west, lee side low, and then another area of low pressure riding along this stalled frontal boundary. The front itself will gradually drift in our direction. When it does that, it brings in a slight chance of a shower for us. But again, the air's dry. There's a very small period of time to moisten the atmosphere as that front approaches. So the total rainfall chance is not all that great. Today, high pressure sits right over us. On Saturday, that frontal boundary will make its closest approach before washing out across North Florida with that 20% rain chance. Today and tomorrow, though, it's all about the position of that high pressure, bringing us warm, dry conditions, breezy afternoons for a period of time, and then higher humidity tomorrow as the high kind of moves out into the Atlantic and shifts winds more to a southwesterly direction. The high pressure sitting over us makes the air kind of stagnant, and consequently we have a high ozone level today. Unhealthy for very sensitive people with compromised respiratory situations. So you might want to limit your outdoor activity if you're in that category. High pressure brings us a spiral of clouds around, but that high begins to break down just a little bit. We get more cloud cover around tomorrow, and then that chance of rain on Saturday as that front approaches and basically falls apart. Our rain chance on Saturday comes in at about 20% after several days of warm temperatures. And then on Sunday, we clear out, high pressure builds back in, and we're left with a lovely Mother's Day. And the beginning of next work week, also very nice. Back to you, Ray.
Very nice. Thank you, John. Talk to you again soon. Let's check the roads right now. First off, in Manatee County, you'll see an issue down there at State Road 70. A car stalled in the eastbound lane near I-75. Also checking farther south now on the maps in Sarasota County. A little slowdown you'll see around the Ritz-Carlton there as your cars are heading southbound on 41 near the Ringling Causeway. A little slowdown there. Otherwise all clear. South County, no problems right now at 6:47 on your Thursday morning. Health Smart now. Antibiotics were invented to prevent serious infections and deaths, but in this country, about 2 million people become infected with bacteria that can't be treated by antibiotics, and at least 23,000 die each year from those infections. Bacteria have mutated and become resistant to many antibiotics. And that's happened because many of these medications were overprescribed, given in too high of doses, or used for the wrong reasons. So what's the solution? At this point, many doctors are being much more conscientious about prescribing antibiotics only when completely necessary. Entertainment news now. It's been 20 years since Bruce Willis and Mila Djokovic saved the universe in The Fifth Element. So, to mark the anniversary, the sci-fi cult classic is returning to the theaters. Some 600 cinemas will show The Fifth Element on May 14th and May 17th. The closest theater to this area featuring the special screening are in St. Petersburg, Pinellas Park, and also in Brandon. A California judge set bail at $90,000 for Paris Hilton's little brother. Conrad Hilton could be seen yelling in an agitated way in the courthouse. You might recognize his lawyer. That's Robert Shapiro. He was on the O.J. Simpson defense team years ago. So little Conrad Hilton arrested for taking a car from his ex-girlfriend's father last Saturday. He is on probation still for a 2014 incident where he assaulted 2 flight attendants aboard an airplane. He could face nearly 4 years in jail if he is convicted. Sean Diddy Combs is sure to toast his latest achievement. The entrepreneur and music artist secured the top spot on the Forbes list of hip-hop's wealthiest artists for the 6th consecutive year. Net worth, $820 million, almost a billionaire. He edged out rapper Jay-Z, worth a paltry $810 million. Third place, believe it or not, Dr. Dre, still in the running, I'll say, at $740 million. And still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, why is this politician putting a giant mouse trap on his lawn? Details next.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like cell phone protection for 3 phones, plus an interest-bearing account. And that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you. ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you, weeknights at 5.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like full ID theft protection, and that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Well, some sad news for sportscaster Chris Berman. He was supposed to be here tomorrow for the Dick Vitale Gala, one of the honorees, but Chris Berman's wife was killed in a tragic car accident on Tuesday in Connecticut. The investigation is still underway. Very sad news for sports announcer Chris Berman. Again, he won't be coming to the Dick Vitale Gala tomorrow because his wife was killed in an accident on Tuesday. All right, welcome back. Let's check other headlines this morning. A 2-year-old girl is in the hospital after a 2-car crash in Sarasota. It happened at the intersection of Prairie View Drive and McIntosh Road about 6 p.m. The toddler was flown to All Children's Hospital. A candlelight vigil set for later on today in Venice to honor the father and daughter killed in an accident on the South Jetty on Monday. Friends and loved ones will gather at the Villages on the Isles at 7:30 to honor Eugene and Carol Hayden. Investigation underway after a woman was found dead after drowning at Point of Rocks on Siesta Key yesterday. Witnesses say she was found unresponsive. She was on vacation here with her husband from Pittsburgh. Checking Suncoast traffic now. A little buildup there on 301 southbound around State Road 70. Also a car stalled in the eastbound lanes closer to the interstate. Farther south into Sarasota County, we'll check the maps there. A slowdown heading toward the Ringling Bridge as you head toward the hump towards St. Armand Circle. A slowdown on that stretch of road. Also checking South County maps, nothing much to report. Some slowdowns around Business 41, otherwise all clear at 6:55. John?
Well, for today, a daytime high tops out in the upper 80s. We'll have an extended period of time of low relative humidity leading to high fire danger, hence red flag warnings flying. And over the next several days with temperatures in the upper 80s, we'll have increasing cloudiness tomorrow, increasing humidity as well. Chance of showers Saturday and clearing Sunday.
Well, a Pennsylvania politician was so disappointed with his signs being stolen, he put a mouse trap under the sign. That will do it. It's meant to be a little funny. Now, this isn't a real mouse trap, but it's serving its purpose, weighing about 250 pounds, and now nobody can steal his signs. And better yet, Joe Kowalczyk is getting attention all up and down the East Coast for what he's doing at his home in Pennsylvania. Good idea.
Yeah, very good sense of humor there. That's very clever.
Build a better mousetrap.
Yeah, not a cheap sign, though, once it's all said and done.
No, that's true.
Put out a couple hundred in those, and I think you're talking about a big bunch of money.
Yeah, it seemed to work.
And I'm surprised the kind of people who collect metal don't go in on that one.
I hope politicians take down their signs in Sarasota and Northport now. They're all over the place still.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
All right, more local news at 7:25. Of course, Scott's here at noon, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning on Good Morning Suncoast. Have a nice day, folks. Good Morning America is next.